Well, hello everyone, and welcome to HoGaLe's Global Astrology. Know your planets, know yourself, or know your nation, know yourself. And you will see I am joined this evening, if we can actually see her, by Sheila of Celtic Tarot. But she
Oh,
seems to be engrossed.
I'm so sorry. I am learning so much from this book. I cannot put it down, Hogarth. Oh my god. Oh, okay.
Guys,
I'll
I
pay
did not
attention
know
now.
she was going to do that. By the way, she literally, just as I clicked the button to go live, she whipped up the book. Are you enjoying it? Are you enjoying it?
Oh, 100%. I'm learning so much about me.
Oh, are you?
Yep, I'm like getting my chart that I have, and then I'm going to the book and then collaborating it with the book. And you know how we are when we do it on ourselves, then we can understand a little bit more about what's going on because we can vet it. Yep, that's true. Maybe not, but that's true, right? We can vet
Yeah,
it.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So, just to give a little heads up, we were planning to have Lena with us tonight, and so I've sent her, of course, the email in the usual way, just like I did with Sheila. But as you know, our dearest Dr. Lena is very fond of travel. She could be between places right now. Last I heard, she was in Argentina, but then she was in Brazil, and we actually spoke on the phone. I think it was yesterday, and she was showing me a picture of the beach. So what I'm thinking is maybe she's got the time a bit tied up. I've sent her a WhatsApp just to see how she's getting on. But as they say, the show must go on.
If it's 8 o'clock in the evening in Brazil, that means she's already enjoying herself and she is continuing on with her evening.
Yeah, I think so. I think there's a good chance of that. So let's hope that she's okay. I'm just hoping that she's just having a few drinks on the beach and it has just slipped her mind. But we have an action-packed show for you guys today. Thank you for all of your questions, and they're all really quite thought-provoking and juicy. So just to give a little overview of what to expect before Sheila and I start, and then we're gonna get through as many of them as we can. So Sheila, this is for your benefit as well. So we have questions on China, Putin, Ukraine. Question number 3 will be around Josh Hawley. Let's put that there, Josh Hawley. I forgot to write that down. Then we will be looking at Keir Starmer, a bit of UK politics. Oh my God. We're going to be looking at him and also get Shakespeare's opinion on Starmer. Then we're going to be looking at Biden, Israel, Gaza. Then we'll be looking at Steve Bannon. And then, of course, we have to talk about Duck L'Orange and the GOP and the conviction and all that kind of stuff. So stay tuned, folks. Stay to the end. Many of you do anyway, but, it just builds in intensity. So, Sheila, are you ready for the show to begin?
We are. Everybody is on their seats wanting to know if Trump is going to be put in prison. We
Oh,
all want
wow.
to know that. So that
Right.
that's a question at the end. Yeah, we'll wait. We'll make them wait.
Indeed. Indeed. And we'll try and do a bit of extra space for that, guys, because obviously it's really worth digging into. Okay, so question number 1. This is China, China and the Taiwan situation. So this is coming from Wheezy Squeezebox. I love their name. Thank you so much, Wheezy Squeezebox, for your question. So they're going to say, I'm very worried about the situation in Taiwan. The Chinese military has recently been conducting military exercises around Taiwan, encroaching on Taiwan's airspace, and are talking about imposing a blockade. Oh, pardon. 1 minute. 1 minute.
Oh,
Ah,
hello. I had the wrong link and I've been around the world in cyberspace.
not to worry, Lena. We already spoke of your defense. I said we were talking yesterday. I think she's in Brazil. Sent the thing over, and I said if she's having a great time on the beach, we won't worry about it. But you made it wonderful. So, Lena, just so you know where we are, action-packed show. We've got
Yeah,
some
and
one.
I hope Taiwan.
Yes, so that's our first question. But as you know, we're pros here. We just hit the ground running. So Lena's fine as long as she's got her cards. So I'll just read out the question again. Going back to number one. Where was that? Here we are.
Hi,
So
Sheila.
Hey. Wheezy Squeezebox says, I'm very worried about the situation in Taiwan. The Chinese military has recently been conducting military exercises around Taiwan, encroaching on Taiwan's airspace, and are talking about imposing a blockade. Taiwan manufactures the most advanced semiconductor chips, which every military needs, and economy pretty much as well. The USA, South Korea, and the Philippines and Japan stand with Taiwan. Would you please read on this? And they were saying they got information from China Observer, YouTube, and Today and others. And what I will add as well, it's the year of the dragon this year.
Oh, I've been waiting for the year of the dragon.
It's the year of the dragon this year, so which may embolden China on many things. So shall we see on that? Let me just see again. It was so they're imposing a blockade. Time and blah, blah, blah. USA did what is it? So can you please read on this? So just read on this situation with China, Taiwan, blockade, etc.
Right.
I have a clarifying question. I was trying to search it up, but is Taiwan in the whatchamacallit with the US? Like if somebody goes after Taiwan, we have to protect them? What is it called?
I don't think so. I don't know.
No. There's not an official thing there.
Okay.
But it is implied, or America has made it known that they're prepared to defend Taiwan should something happen.
Well,
but I don't
Taiwan
think
is some
symbolically treat or anything. Do you know anything more on that, Lena?
Well, just that it's regarded by most of the Western powers as a bulwark against the might of China, so it's like Singapore, Hong Kong, Taiwan. So the West tends to defend those places when China is looking more aggressive.
Okay. So Lynette says correct. They are not in NATO.
No.
The U.S. has an agreement with Taiwan. Okay, I knew there was something there. I couldn't remember it, but yeah, okay. So the question exactly is just what's going to happen. Is this a general?
Yeah, what's the energy with
around Taiwan
and the embargo? Yeah, just a read on that. Ooh.
I have to tell you, every time I get into this energy, I feel panicky. My panic button is like, bam, bam, somebody's pushing my panic button. And it reminds me a lot of what I saw right before Russia invaded Iran.
Ooh.
Because Russia did the exact same thing on not Iran, Ukraine. Sorry.
Right.
My words just like this. But anyways, right, because he went, how Putin went right up to the edge and just, this is kind of, I just got to put that out there that somebody's pushing my panic button right now.
Well, I'm not surprised because if you put yourself in the shoes of Taiwan, you're a very small country.
Yeah, very small.
Right, up against the giant, So they're quite progressive in Taiwan. It is a democracy. So it's seen as a threat to China. Let's have a look.
And I think Hogarth, you said to keep it to 3 cards and keep it because.
Well, I mean, this we can do normal ones, but we do have some 1-card pulls in there as well, just to save a bit of time. But this one, just go for your normal spread because it's quite important. Who's ready to go first, or should I go?
Go.
All right. Okay. Right. So yeah, in a turn of the twist of the usual order. All right. So I'm going first on this one. And I was pulling as well early on. So the situation, China embargo, but also as well, I'm looking at this from the perspective of it being the year of the dragon, which it is this year. Now, of course, the main animal or mythical beast, as it were, that symbolizes China is the dragon. And I said in some videos last year, in the year of the dragon, we might see some bold moves from China. So if we look here, first of all, look, I've got the Ace of Pentacles here. So this is talking about there is a financial motive here. Yeah. Ace of Pentacles deals with wealth, abundance. And of course, can also be talking about the economy as well. So it seems like rather than maybe something overtly military at this stage, which would be, of course, extremely controversial with how much conflict is already going on in the world, it looks like China is maybe trying to impose some kind of financial, well, I mean, it's an embargo, apparently. That's what's been said. So here we can see spirits completely lined up with that. So it is about finances and money at this stage. If we look here in the obstacle position, we have the Fool card. Now, this is really interesting. As the ladies will know, sometimes you can interpret this card literally as being foolish and stuff like that. But this is China we're talking about here, who is famous for medium to long-term plans. I don't think it's necessarily that. What I think this is, I think this represents China's optimism for themselves in general. This is the year of the dragon. And I know that might seem a bit esoteric when we're talking about China, but it is a very, very auspicious beast. It's the most auspicious one in the Chinese zodiac. And I really do believe they're going to make some bold moves this year. So often this card can also as well be about a leap of faith, taking a leap of faith, but also as well, there's an element of caution here where the little dog is trying to let the fool know, look, there's a big drop. So I think this is the temptation. I think this is what China potentially wants to do, let rip, but something may be holding them back. So I think they're going to try military stuff first. If we look here, we've got another card here. We've got the Ace of Wands, which is about making a bold new move, a bold statement, fresh new beginnings. But not only that, sometimes this can literally be the stick to do someone with. So I think no problem. I think what wobbly sex is not sorry. So here, I think this is like the stick. This stick can sometimes be literally used as a form of force. So I think that's behind that, should they feel they need to come to it. Here we also have the Knight of Cups, which obviously sometimes is known as the false knight. But this can also be the card of treaties or making an offer, some kind of bargain. So it could be, is it that China may imply force, but try and come forward with some kind of offer? And then what we've got after that is the Two of Pentacles, which is juggling things, of course, on the choppy seas, which is quite appropriate for an island. But sometimes this card can also denote manipulation as well. So I think they're going to financially squeeze Taiwan first, but there is the threat of aggression behind it. Who's ready to go next?
Do you want to go, Sheila?
Sure, I can go. What I did is I pulled like two cards, and I can go really quick with this too. One set was I wanted to know what their intentions were for the future. And the other one, I wanted to see what the spiritual strategy of what they were thinking, like in their quiet chambers, what it is that they're doing. So the first one is they really, really want to get together with them for money.
Right.
They really, I mean, the China, they're like, come on, just join us, just do whatever you got to do. But the people of Taiwan, they're just like brokenhearted in the heart. Like some of them say, yeah, let's just join them because we're not going to be able to beat them. But a lot of them are like, no, the heartbroken. They just feel like they have no place to go. And I get in the quiet, in the chambers of China, I get strategy, answers, and the knowledge. They're doing run. What is it called when they go in to see how things work? What is it called when you go in?
Reconnaissance.
Yes, that's what they're doing right now. They're watching, seeing what happens, seeing where the weakness is. They're just watching. It's like they're all sitting on the bank having a cigar and going, oh, so if that happens, and that happens. That's what they're doing. They're having a that. And I have a feeling with this, it doesn't say anybody's going forward, but it definitely, the plans are in the works to just go right in. So I know. That's
yeah.
What do you have,
What I've got, in a way, this is the card that shows the futility and stupidity of the whole thing. In the sense, this is people working together financially. So it's like Russia taking over Chechnya and other places and all the stans, and China making a big deal out of Hong Kong. Just do your business. Just do your business. Okay. But anyway, they're determined to make Taiwan feel out in the cold in this case, which isn't particularly in anybody's best interest. We've got the young, I think, with this card here with the sword raised. The young are not going to tolerate. This is the social media generation. They don't want to be under a repressive single state regime. They can't imagine it. They've lived in quite a progressive country, so they're talking to each other, right? But like Sheila says, here's China as the emperor. When things aren't going marvelously at home, we see this pattern over and over. That's when, best have a war, best have an invasion, best have an incursion, like this really unreasonable stone thrown energy. But in the end, I think they'll come to a pact with the Lover's card, because a healthy Taiwan is actually a better, more successful trading partner. Stop with this colonial stuff. All of you big countries, just stop and start trading with countries that used to be your satellites.
Yeah. And in fact, well said. And in fact, the trade ties end up being more powerful than the taking over by force. And it's just like you said, the big countries just need to realize that you increase ties more with a country when you empower and in wealth and make it richer, particularly if it's tiny. Look what they've done. Look what they've done with Hong Kong. All they had to do was just leave it alone. Leave it alone.
Leave it alone. Make a mozza. Forget about it. Get off all this nationalism that's driving MAGA. It drove Brexit.
Yeah.
It drove all this sort of, it's only us stuff is not healthy, and nor is it modern. It's really feudal. It's really a medieval mentality, which is, Pluto taking 240 years or whatever it does to come around. It's like we're back 240 years ago with this stuff. What's the aim with the Supreme Court and everything? It's not just to be conservative and win that one. It's about taking things back 200 years where women won't have contraception.
Yeah.
Because they felt more powerful back then. And I think that's the one thing that we're starting to really understand. That's where how we go back to a place where we were the happiest. And I was just thinking about this the other day. Why are they doing this the most? You know how in your life, like, I want to go back to when I was 20 something, when I was the happiest. So the conservatives who absolutely are drunk on power, when did they have the most power? Back then. And therefore they're trying to put the biscuit back into the container.
Yeah, totally.
It's impossible to do, but that's what their whole angle is. And that's the sickness, that's the worm that's walking through their head, is that they can get it back.
Power
back.
Yeah, absolutely. And everything is cyclical. And yes, Pluto's exact time it takes to go around the sun is 248 years.
I rest my case.
Yeah, but yeah, it's sometimes it's 244, 248 because
Sure.
it's
It's
an
around
eccentric
there.
elliptical orbit, but basically call it 250 years. So, and this is why we're seeing, folks, have you noticed across the globe this creeping authoritarianism?
Absolutely.
Just all kind of percolating through. Yes, America is having the Pluto return, the only country actually having it, because you have to be around about 250 years old to have it. But you see how this theme of this authoritarianism is playing out. Pluto in
And
Capricorn.
Puritanism. It
Yes.
goes together. They're really concerned with who's in bed with who.
Yeah.
You know, and they're the ones that are swapping the car keys. They're the ones that are in the motel rooms pretending they're off on Bible class. You know,
it's just
it's so
ridiculous.
nauseating.
Yeah. Indeed. I'm just going to click up on some comments. Thank you, everyone, for joining us this evening. Please don't forget as well to like and subscribe if you've not done so already. And of course, you can like and subscribe the ladies' channels as well. They are in the description below. And if you're interested in the book, that's also there too. So Connie B says, it will be a threat, not an offer. I can't believe, honestly, guys, put it down. People think I've paid you, bless, but I'm glad you're enjoying the book.
No, not at all.
Ambushed me. I'm kind of blushing now. So Wheezy Screenbox, lots of CCP agents in Taiwan. Someone's saying Sheila has such a fun energy, a really good trio tonight. Thank you. Yes, she certainly does. Living Co-Creatively says, true, Hoagie, I'm an ox and she's okay with the dragon. Yes, dragon and ox do get along very well, and so does dragon and goat, actually. My nephew's a dragon, I'm goat, and we get along very well. And then Cyril Farim, forgive me if I butchered that, says US recognizes the CCP but forgot the word and decided to use acknowledges when it comes to Taiwan as part of China in the joint communique statements between USA and China. So very interesting topic, ladies, on that, wasn't it? Very interesting question. Are we ready for the next one?
Yes.
All right, so we're going to jump in our esoteric aeroplane. We started off in China, and now, of course, we need to talk about Putin and Ukraine. Yeah, we've not spoken about them for quite a while, actually. The questions were there, some were there, but they just didn't quite make the list. And I was like, no, we have to talk about them. So this I put A plus B, so that means someone else spoke as well. So the first one, Sarah Hellis, says, hi, Hoagie and ladies, what can you tell us about Russia's current financial status? What impact has international sanctions had on their resources to continue their efforts regarding Ukraine, on their ability to bribe politicians and continue their destructive interferences around the world, remember, for entertainment purposes only. And then the second question that came in was Angelic Alchemy, says, hello to the HoGaLe's team and Sheila from the US. Can you please look into Ukraine, since it seems like more NATO allies are backing Ukraine, wanting to conduct strikes into Russia? Will this represent the beginning of the end of Putin? Thank you. So let's conflate the two together and just say, okay, what is going on with the economy of Russia and Putin's ability to fund the war? And we'll see if NATO creeps in there as well with their things, because I think it is about the money and how long each side can keep.
Totally.
All right, so what the finances, Putin's finances vis-a-vis the Ukraine war. Great questions today, folks. I mean, really stellar questions we've got in today. Putin, Ukraine, Putin.
Well, isn't that interesting? How'd your cards come? I mean, I haven't had these combinations in a long time that literally tell me exactly what's happening.
That's great. Go for it.
Yeah. Go for it. Yeah.
Well, I have the star of the war, which is Putin, the star of the war.
Yeah.
the star of the war. I mean, he is okay. So when I get into, and I'm pretty sure you guys probably feel it because it's so dang strong. I get into his energy, and I feel nauseous, like I have been taking the wrong medicine for a long time. You know how you, or too much medicine, or something is, some kind of medication is not working in his body anymore, and I'm feeling sick about it. So I don't
Wow.
know if it's just that his sickness has gone past medical help. That very well could be. So this right here could be a lot of things. He's got to get out of that war before he passes away.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? His ego is probably just wraithing right now about that, trying to get out of that, because I see the stars trying to get out of whatever it is. I also have the him walking away, but I also have him in poverty. He is the economy, Russia. I mean, he sees a $50 bill and he has 5 cents to pay it. That's how bad it is over there. I see the boundaries. You know, they're fighting back. Ukraine is holding their own, and I have Ukraine as the empress. So this is my Ukraine. So I mean, isn't that like the whole story? It's been a long time, like literally step by step. The star is trying to get away. He's running out of money, and Ukraine is fighting back, and they are winning.
Wow. Wow. Fascinating. Lena, what do you have?
Well, those of you who have followed me for some time know one of my rants is always about sanctions, because they affect normal people going to a supermarket and not being able to buy food. Oligarchs of any color and persuasion just go to another country till the crisis is over. So I'm not a supporter of sanctions on Iran or Cuba, for that matter, or Russia. But okay, having said that, we're going to find out where the money is coming from, because look at these. He's actually it's more than robbing Peter to pay Paul. He's actually having to, I think, steal and borrow money. I mean, again, he's personally wealthy, but he's not putting his piggy bank into this. This is him as the leader of Russia, and this figure is looking very Cossack. I think he's borrowing money where he can, and we will find out fairly soon what the real financing of this war from the Russian side is. Putin and Russia need, well, maybe even Ukraine, need to find some middle path in this. So, okay, give me 1 minute. But what you've got is a Russian conscript army. In other words, you've got 19-year-olds, 23-year-olds, 47-year-olds who have suddenly been conscripted this morning. You've got against Ukraine, who didn't have a big standing army at all. So you had people from all over the world who were Ukrainian going, well, I'm an engineer, but I'll go back and help, you know. And so you've got two ill-equipped armies, right, in this scenario. Now, Ukraine might be able to land this deal with NATO and the US, but I think they both have to come to the table for a compromise here. It has to end. It has to end. And the news is not marvelous. The death toll is actually massive, and we always look at death tolls and not injury tolls. So I think the Russian mothers, like the Israeli mothers, like the mothers everywhere, will tend to be coming with not good news for Putin, because Dmitri's not coming home. Right? Now, on top of that, we had 300,000 Russian men leave Russia. Remember a few months ago, we saw that. They went to Finland, Sweden, anywhere they could, because they didn't want to be conscripted. That's a brain drain for Russia, because you have to be actually middle class to have the money to do the runner, you know. So it's educated Russians who are leaving, not exclusively. This is a nightmare for Putin, absolute nightmare.
Interesting. Well, as you know, I pulled my usual 5 cards, and this has never happened before. Out of my 5 cards, 4 are major arcana,
There you go. It's a big story.
And two of those are what the both of you have pulled each already. So I mean, so what this says is that whatever's coming, this is seismic. This is huge. This is huge for Putin. Even when you get one major arcana, it is a big deal.
Yeah.
But to get 4 out of 5 of a 5-card spread, I mean, that's really remarkable. One second, let me just put my phone on airplane mode. I've got some messages that just came in there. Right. Let's make sure that's so I don't get interrupted. Okay. So first card up here. Now we all know this card I famously associate with Russia, but just in case we weren't sure Spirit which was tuning in, here we are. We have the Empress. Yeah. Sheila got the Empress as well, but everyone knows this is my Russia card.
Yes.
And once upon a time, I famously asked, and I always say with it, I put my little twist on. And one of my little twists is what is under the Empress's skirts? Yeah, and you remember last time I said tumbleweed, and then there was a whole bunch of tumbleweed that blew across America, which turns out is called the Russian thistle. So as we can see here, look, this is literally this is Putin. Now, Putin is very interesting as a leader because I read on him, he often shows up as the emperor, but he will often show up as the empress or one of the queen cards. Not that he's effeminate, but it is part of his energy. So this is Putin here turning up as Catherine the Great tonight. Yeah. So he's thinking about things. He's pregnant with all sorts of ideas because this is a card of pregnancy and stuff like that. So he's trying to be imaginative and creative when it comes to this war and the direction it's going to take. But if we look here, look at the obstacle card, the world. The world is watching, but it's not only just that, it's the world. This is also the world card can be beginnings and endings, endings and beginnings. It does tend to denote the completion of a cycle. It is the last one, after all, if I remember correctly. And then it goes back to the Fool. So he's in a pickle because he wanted to expand Russia's fertility.
Yes.
That's really what this is about, isn't it? Because we know the Empress is about, expansion. But look at all the grain. Ukraine is the famous bread basket literally. So we can see this is why Putin went in. He's like, right, if I grab Ukraine, I'll increase my birth rate because all of the men have been dying of vodka. A lot of them had left. A lot of land there, fertile land, but the world has got different opinions. Since that moment, since the invasion, he's been trying to balance things, literally at home and abroad. Yeah, at home and abroad. And he's really trying his best to try and kind of work this out. So on one hand, you have the consequences of the war and the sanctions. But then on the other hand, he's been building, of course, alliances as well with China and, of course, with Iran. If we notice here as well, there's with the Temperance card, 1 foot is in the water, 1 is on land. So it shows one element here is intuition and instinct, and the other is about pragmatism and practicality. And it moves up, not down. So he's doing his best, to kind of balance things out because he wants to maintain what? His status as emperor, king of the world. And you see how both cards can be true for Putin at the same time. He said there's 2 people that he admires, Peter the Great and Catherine the Great. And for me, they've turned up here as the archetype, male and female archetypes. So he's always trying to balance that one out. Ultimately, though, it is about the money, but you're absolutely right. Where is the money coming from? Now, in terms of Putin's personal finances, he could probably fund this war for himself, probably for a couple of years, because let me tell you, Putin is hands down one of the most richest men on planet Earth.
Seriously.
Do not believe the Forbes list or whatever. He is worth billions, and I'm not even joking. You've got complete dominion over a landmass the size of Russia with how many time zones? I forget now, at least 7. Think of how much money you got in the bank, and he's obviously stolen all of it. So, but I think this is talking about money is a concern. I'm not quite sure how much of a concern yet, because I think there's back channel money from China, to be honest. it is a concern, but I feel like he's still got a bit of energy there. So I'm not expecting the tank to run dry just yet. Sorry, guys. Those are very powerful cards. Anything to add to that, ladies?
No, shall we move on?
Right, let's move on.
I think my poverty is maybe was talking about his people.
Yeah, the Russian people.
Yes, this is what I was saying about sanctions. They're suffering financially because everything's upside down because of the war and the sanctions.
And they don't have their men there to support them either.
Yeah. Whereas I feel like I've got the cards for Putin, and he's obviously financially, he's fine. He's more than fine, more money than God. But yeah, the people, maybe not so great. Okay, so question number 3. Let's flip this over. Great questions, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us tonight. We have 1,343 in the house right now and growing. So let's see here. Okay. Oh, Josh Hawley. Oh, we've got to do Shakespeare on Josh Hawley, isn't it?
Yes, that'll be juicy.
Last Shakespeare. I don't think we've done
it Josh Hawley caught in an old photo in the women's lingerie, or am I getting it wrong?
Was he? It wouldn't. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me. I mean, he's certainly got long legs. I'll give him that.
Can people let us know in the chat? Was it Josh Hawley, or I'm thinking of someone else? One of the young conservatives was caught out in full drag.
Do you mean the one that was in the one that who uses a wheelchair? Do you mean him? Do you mean that one?
What's his name?
Oh, I forget now, but he was. I've seen
Madison Cawthorn. Thank you so much. Our people are so smart. Hush my lips. It was Madison Cawthorn.
Yeah, it was Cawthorn. I saw those pics, and he was having a bit of a humpy time with one of his cousins as well. Anyway, but we'll leave it there.
Yes, but doing the Victoria's Secrets promo, don't.
So this question is coming from Denise Ferguson. Thank you so much for your question. Senator Josh Hawley went on Fox News and stated to the American people that the American people were being lied to. He says US troops are currently in Ukraine. Either Hawley is lying or he gave out classified information on public TV. His remarks are dangerous and could further Russian aggression towards the US. Why did he make that remark, and will there be consequences for him? So, ladies, I'll let you respond first, and then I'll chuck in my 6 pence worth of what I've heard from the UK.
Imagine Leto in drag. Oh, well, there we have it. Just die.
Oh, my God.
So what was Josh Hawley hoping to achieve?
Well, Alito would be lingerie made of flags, wouldn't it?
Oh, yes. Have his knickers on upside down. Don't.
That's probably normal for him. His wife is probably like, I see that all the time, backwards and all that.
No. Well, I can go if you like.
Go for it.
Well, I think he's going to throw everything and the kitchen sink at this, because part of the problem, like my brain failure, people are forgetting who he is. So apart from that image of him running through the doorways on January 6th, freaked out, no one seems to have heard of him much since. So I think he's going to try a few things. He wants to generate money for himself and, being relevant is what this is all about. He's hoping that this is such a big thing to say that the world will take notice of Josh Hawley. But I'm sorry to break the news, Pet. No one cares. He just doesn't have the gravitas. So I think in answer to the question, it's not true. And he just thought he'd throw it out there, and he'll throw other things out there because he's trying to get a bit of fame here.
Interesting. Sheila.
Real to say.
Mm-mm.
That is exactly kind of what I got. I mean, I got the tower at first. I'm like, oh, he's just trying to blow something down. And then what I did with the clarifier, clever boy.
Yeah.
Clever boy. He's trying everything. So here's something that has been happening in the United States at Ground Zero. I have been noticing. I mean, MTG throws out that they are trying to unalive Trump when they did the FBI search, right? And they're getting more and more
outrageous,
disgusting with all of this stuff. And this is what it is. It's like they're trying to just cause so much chaos, and they're at their end of their ropes. Because I got temperance and wishes granted. Temperance of their wishes granted. Like tap that down. Right, so it also goes along with it's not doing very well. Tapping that whole wishes granted, like whatever it is they want. And then I got the trying to find their way. I have the hangman. They're trying to surrender away. They're trying to look at it different. Like what else can we do? What else can we do? They are. Josh Hawley, I mean, this is horrible, right? This is a horrible lie. I don't see any truth in it because he's just trying to be a clever little boy. And they're throwing, it's like blind throwing the dart. Something's got to hit.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's just something to say.
Yes.
It's crazy talk.
Yep, that's what I got with Josh Hawley's words and MTG's words, and all of them are. They just don't. They're at their wits' end. They are literally grabbing in the bag. And what else can we say? What else can we do?
Fascinating.
Yeah, and hi Jackie. I just have to say hi, Jackie, to my girl Jackie. She's joined us now. So.
Oh, wonderful. Hello, Jackie, and we've got 1,433. Actually, what I'll quickly do is just to bring everyone in. I will just click up some of the comments that I put stars on earlier, so I don't forget. So, Flamingo Breeze, greeting from Brisbane.
You're a Brizzy girl. I'm a Brizzy girl.
Oh,
really, Redcliffe. She'll get it.
Okay. And then No Name says China wants Taiwan semiconductor manufacturing. Yes,
probably.
that could be a big one. Karen Johansson says greetings, Lena, Sheila, and HoGaLe's. Wheezy Squeezebot says Hong Kong is no longer the same. Someone here is saying, Sharon saying, please tap the thumbs up button, everyone. Thank you. And what's this one here? Oh, this is interesting. So Lynette Ray says China and Russia have taken control of more land to improve their economies for a long time. They need to change their mindset and learn economic domination as opposed to political, physical. Yeah, there can be that. And then someone says, Kathleen O'Malley says, let's make it a matriarchal lead societies. Yeah, I think there's a fair point in that. And in fact, when you look at the entirety of human history, it has been more goddess ruled than it has been God ruled. So, we'll see things maybe swinging back.
Yeah, we've got like a 40,000 year head start on the patriarchal religions. But let's go.
Indeed. So what did I get for Josh Hawley? Now, look, we got the Ace of Swords here come up. Got the Ace of Swords here. Now, this is actually normally associated with truth. Now, look, what am I going to say here? What I would say is there is a rumor in the UK press, that has been said by some politicians that indeed there may be British and some Americans there. Whether or not they're fighting actually hand-to-hand combat, no. But there are allegations of giving detailed training, that the Ukrainians may not otherwise be able to have. But do you see, it's not clear. It's not clear. And either way, even if it were true, it's a very dangerous thing to say at this time and extremely inflammatory. And of course, it is designed to get headlines as well. If we look here, though, in the next position, we get the Hermit card. So of course now when this we can consider it reversed because it's in the opposite is turning up in the obstacle position. When it's the right way up, this can talk about research, going within, spirituality, which we know the GOP is none of those things. This can speak about paranoia, isolation, and disillusionment with the world. So the sense I'm getting here is I think this is talking about how Josh Hawley is feeling after he was seen running through the halls. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? He's not feeling as relevant anymore. So I
Yeah.
think he's trying to come out with something sharp,
Yeah.
to get himself in the headlines
Cut
because
through.
he's actually feeling, he's trying to get cut through. He's like,
Yeah.
remember me. I'm not just the one that was running away. Remember me. But actually, I think he's feeling quite isolated and no one's really talking about him. So he has to say something because we've got to remember as well, most of these guys are malignant narcissists and are extraordinarily vain.
Yeah.
If we look here, we've got the Queen of Pentacles here, and this does deal in general with domesticity, etc. But I often refer to it as the electorate, whatever the domestic electorate is in the country. So he's trying to make some kind of mad slash to try and communicate with people, because I think he might be a bit worried about his seat. Is he up for re-election anytime soon? Anything like that?
Let us know what his status is.
It looks like to me he's looking for votes here. He's looking for votes. However, judgment card comes out. So it's kind of like I just don't think people have that much time for Josh Hawley. And one of the difficulties as well for anyone that is in the GOP with Duck Larange, love him or hate him or whatever, he is very, very good at taking the headlines. If you're a Josh Hawley, who's going to be talking about you?
No.
I think he's feeling a bit isolated. So if we look here, we got the outcome card here, which is the King of Swords, which can also deal with legalities and stuff like that as well. I think he may be worried as well about his culpability as well, because obviously if it's happened to Trump now, then if you're further down the pecking order, your chances of actually going into jail are actually a lot more. So I think it's several things: being salacious, trying to keep himself in the headlines, but maybe he's actually trying to insulate himself against future legal action. What are your thoughts on that, ladies, before we move? Anything to add?
Well, are we going to have Shakespeare on Josh Hawley?
Oh, of course. Thank you.
And while we get organised, I just want to say in the chat, we've got more Queenslanders here, banana benders, as we call ourselves. Oh, and there's Mickey. She's from Bundaberg. Oh, bless.
Oh, wonderful. I'm glad we're having some
Go the Maroons.
Antipodean participation. It's wonderful to have you guys here. Who called out Shakespeare last time? I think, is it Sheila's turn again? I think it's Sheila, isn't it?
You're the guest, Sheila. Yeah.
All right. So you know the routine, Sheila. So tell me where to stop, and then we'll get Shakespeare's opinion on Josh Hawley.
Okay.
Oh, okay. No problem. All right, let's have a look. Oh, this is interesting. All right. Right. Okay. So here, this is what it says. This has come from Coriolanus. So it says, your wit will not so soon out as another man's will. 'Tis strong wedged up in a blockhead. Which is quite interesting.
Long way to say you've got nothing to say.
Yeah. And then on the next page it says, it is a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing.
Well, that sums him up, doesn't it?
Yeah, Macbeth. There you go. I mean,
it's Macbeth.
So it's basically saying he's hot air.
I'd just like to say there's a comment from Always Have Strength and Joy. Great name. The USA has already disclosed service personnel were assisting in the Ukraine. Well, assisting technically, That is true.
Mm-hmm.
That has been going on, but we're not talking boots on the ground, foxhole to foxhole. Yeah.
Indeed. Yeah, which is what I got as well. That's what I said as well. So there you are. So you see, but with your cards and the Shakespeare, we can see it's hot air. You know, he's trying to keep himself in the headlines, folks.
Yeah.
That's what he's doing. All right, let's go on to question number 4. Oh my God, how the time is flying. We've got to talk about, this is a British question here. Lena and I have already had our little rant on the telephone beforehand, but this is about Keir Starmer. Yeah, Keir Starmer. So would you mind explaining for Sheila's benefit, just in case she doesn't know who Keir Starmer is, and the audience at home, and then I'll read the question.
Okay, so in the UK, the major parties are the Tories, the Conservatives, and Labour, the equivalent of the Dems. There's also a third party, but basically those are the 2 big parties. He is the leader of the Labour Party, i.e. the Dems, right? And he was named after one of the great Scottish socialists, go here. But he's the most boring man. If you can imagine Mike Pence 25 years ago, you'd be getting warm. He has zero charisma. He's going to win the election. He is going to be the next Prime Minister of the UK. And he's just awful. You know, he's actually centre-right. He wouldn't know a working person if he fell over them in his own driveway, and he's just got no clue. Don't start me on Keir Starmer. That's my neutral observation, so you can imagine what I really think.
Well, I think that's actually a little bit indeed. I think that might be a little bit unfair, against Mike Pence. He's like Mike Pence, the bad lobotomy. That's how bad Keir Starmer is. The charisma of cold porridge.
Yeah, anyway, dreadful.
So this is the question that's coming from Zizi. Says, hi, HoGaLe's and ladies. There was a scathing article in The Guardian today calling Starmer power drunk and arrogant. He has shown himself to be a disingenuous, ego-starving politician and a yes man for entertainment purposes only. Starmer has fundamentally changed Labour values, but most of all, silencing and expelling ethnic minority MPs who dare to speak up on Gaza, she says.
Hello.
Labour is no longer trusted. It's become another toxic party with no identity or... Turning the page over. Morals. To top that, junior doctors have planned a 5-day strike in the week leading up to the election, which speaks volumes. If Labour wins, it's out of desperation, not out of genuine choice. I think that's a fair point. People do not want Starmer. Is he consciously aware of this? Question. What demons is he battling in himself in those quiet moments at night? So I think we should do a 1-card pull on this and a Shakespeare. Yep.
On Starmer. So what are his demons? What is happening in his head late at night?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
And Diane Abbott had to be reinstated, by the way. She can now run because the avalanche of uproar and outrage that he has caused, it's just ridiculous.
So she is a black woman who actually represents HoGaLe's district in London.
Yeah,
I think she's been there since before Keir Starmer was born. You know, like she's been there as long as I can remember.
Yeah.
Oh, he's just dreadful.
Okay, so 1-card pull to see what is going on in his mind at night, and then we'll move on to Biden. All right, are we ready? So keep the card down, and then we're going to flip on 3. Ready, Sheila? All right, she's going to pick one. All right, after 3. So 1, 2, 3.
Oh,
how interesting!
Oh, wow!
Ooh. All right,
Wow.
Sheila, how do you interpret your card?
I think they strongly need somebody really boring so nobody pays attention to them anymore. It's like going to a lecture where the professor is monotoned, No, everybody's sleeping.
Not a threat.
They want everybody to go back to sleep. They consider this guy their strength.
Wow.
They want everybody to go back to sleep. Stop listening. Don't pay attention to us. You know,
HoGaLe's and I have our mouths open because we're recognizing the truth in what you say.
Yeah.
We are both too close to it.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
This is a plan. This is a playbook that they're igniting. They love him.
Don't you just love a one-card pull, ladies? Sometimes the one-card pulls, I've never seen it that way, but I think you're bang on.
But don't you think she's absolutely right? Someone is invested in Keir Starmer, and it's not the Labor Party.
How do you interpret your card, Lena?
Well, building on what you just revealed, Sheila, which I find fascinating, I'm not convinced he wants to be there.
Oh.
I always thought, ego-driven, maniac, as we always say about these people, they don't accidentally become a prime minister. You got to sort of do a few things. But I'm thinking now, at this point in history, now that it's real, he's only got to have a shower and turn up, right? We know this in terms of the Conservatives have been so bad. He's just got to turn up on the night. I think he's a bit freaked out.
Wow. How interesting. And here, this is why we love a one-card pull. We love a one-card pull because it really concentrates it down. If we look here, isn't it interesting? Keir Starmer is virtually nailed on that this man will be prime minister, according to the polls. But yet, it's like he feels like he's only a page card.
Yeah.
He's neither
he's not a
king. It's not a mature card. No. It's not an empress or emperor, king or queen.
It's not even a card of any significance. No.
So I think he may not feel like he is up to the job. I don't think he feels like he actually has enough experience. And I think now that he's faced with the prospect of basically a coronation, I think he's wobbling and doesn't feel like he quite has the muster. And I was not expecting that at all.
No, nor me.
With Lena's card, you know how it's all wrapped around. It's like they wrap him around, shove him on stage, and all we want you to do is this.
Yeah.
They're convincing him that's all we want you to do.
I mean, that's a revelation.
Yeah,
honestly, you can see our genuine reactions here for me and Lena because we did not expect it to go that way at all. All right, let's see what the bard has to say about
Keir Starmer.
Lena, your turn. Let's see what he says. Tell me when to stop.
Ready, stop.
Oh, let's have a look. Oh wait, what's this? Oh no, wait. I got into the description pages. Forgive me.
No, that's okay. We'll go again.
Aren't the description pages real boring?
It's like explaining the text and stuff.
Ready and stop.
All right. Oh, look, this is so interesting. It says here, from Love's Labour's Lost, your wit makes wise things foolish. Isn't that interesting? Isn't it? And then on the next page, it says, take you me for a sponge.
Oh, wow.
Hamlet. Because what's happened is a lot of people have said since he did his move, a lot of people do they really think we're that dumb? Yeah. So I don't know. I think this could be a bit of a spanner in the works. And actually, I cast my mind back. I remember I saw, oh God, my mind's just gone blank. He does the pictures. How could I forget him? It's just, my mind just went. You know the guy who does Cash. There we are. Yep. Cash said he saw Rishi and Keir Starmer falling down a thingamajig. And could it be this little thing? We'll have to see. But the bard is not impressed anyway. Right. Let's see. Oh my God, the time, ladies. Look how okay. We're going to have to go to Duck L'Orange. There was going to be a Steve Bannon, but we've run out of time. We've got to do a Duck L'Orange. Let's have this. This is a kind of like a joint one, so I think this is worth doing. So Nick Minks has asked, attack verdict or be exiled. A new test for Republicans. Some who have posted that the verdict should be respected, i.e. in regard to Duck L'Orange, are already receiving open messages on platforms saying that their careers will end if they do not support the convicted one. Will this be the implosion of the GOP or monster raving loony party, which is quite fitting, which is a crazy party we have here, who literally are called that? Or will they buckle in the face of campaign money being withdrawn? So we'll take a look at the GOP, and then I think let's do a one card pull on the GOP, and then let's actually just do a full pull on Trump. Yeah, just because it's so important to actually talk about what's going on and how we're going to respond. So just a one card pull on GOP, how they respond to Trump, and then a full card on Trump of his future going forward now he's been found guilty. And we should be able to get that done in about 5 minutes, I think. All right.
Yeah, everybody wants to know if he's going to prison. Exactly. So we'll do the GOP, one card pull, and then Trump, is he going to prison? We'll see.
Okay.
So many great questions today. Yeah. All right. Are we ready? After 3. 1, 2, 3. GOP. Look. Well, I mean, do we even need to say anything? But Sheila?
Mine is they're going to go down fast. It's going to go in a hurry. Mine is buddied up with Lena's card, and
it's hilarious, isn't it? It's just totally hilarious. They're going all the way with this guy, and
power. And then, as if the icing on the cake, they're delusional. They are delusional. If they select him, which of course they probably are, I mean, who else are they going to pick? But it just shows just how discombobulated they are as a party and how far that they have fallen. It is utterly delusional now. So they're going to have to pick him because there's no one else. But my goodness, wow, those cards were very clear.
Yeah, there's been a whole bunch of like little talky theories, conspiracy theories, and all that's been on TikTok. What they're saying now, because they have to save face, is no, we want him to go, and they're going to put somebody else in because and that person is going to win. See, we're going to win it all. They have a plan. I'm like, you guys are jumping from one side of.
They don't have a plan. Not with those cards. They are flying by the seat of their skiddy little pants. They really are. But I don't think they know what to do, to be honest.
No, and it's like competitive treason. I can be worse than you. Look what you said last night. I'm going to say something worse today.
They're in Biden's end zone. They're in Biden's end zone, and they're throwing the Hail Mary, trying to get past their end zone.
Totally.
So let's see on the question, will Trump go to jail? And I'll add my little 6 pence worth. Is Trump going to prison? All right. And we'll do a full pull, and then we'll end there. We had to go over a little bit today because it's been so interesting. All right. Will Trump go to prison?
I can go if you like.
Go for it, Lena.
Yeah. Here's the thing. I don't think now, even with these cards, and I haven't thought he was ever going to jail in the sense of Rikers Island or something like that, right? And these cards affirm it. This is the World and the Nine of Pentacles. The Nine of Pentacles meaning he has the cachet and the status. The very office he's undermining is saving him, because in the, not literally the global, but in the global, in the big picture, it's Dems and others being decent, not wanting to see that. It's almost too much. If the shoe was on the other foot, they wouldn't hesitate, of course. But I think it's too much for them to go there. However, with this card, what he has stolen and walked away with and run away with means I think he'll be sort of returned to camp, like he'll be somehow restricted eventually. Hopefully that means in the next few months or something. But I don't see him going to jail. He'll have to fall over himself and then go into a facility, I think.
Sheila, what do you have?
Well, I don't have a confirmation that he's going to jail, so I just wanted to put that out. But I do have something really strange. I have the moon, which is that anxiety, that fear, that betrayal, that deception, the hidden motives. But I also have it under vigilance. So it's something in the works to keep him out. They're very vigilant on trying to manipulate the whole system and doing this and doing that. However, if the clever boy goes in, if it's going to be like a month or something quick, if this is actually going to come to fruition, because he is the clever boy, right? And whatever it is to be, because I have lovers and ascending. So lovers, there's a connection somewhere. There's an ascending. So there is a highlighted thought process. There's somebody up there that is making difference, making the ideas different, making it look different. There's something going on. But I also have the world and floating away, and this always gets me to where the world and he's floating away. So whatever it is, whatever punishment it is coming, people in the world are going, he lost his power, he's floating away. So whatever it is, but I don't have a confirmation that it's going to be confinement, but punishment for sure.
Yeah. It'll be tweaked in some way.
Yeah. And it's quite interesting, isn't it? The spaciousness of the cards as well. But anyway, look, my cards, they read quite clear here. So straight off the bat, oh dear, dun, 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 lightning strike. So I think this is talking about Trump's consciousness, as we've got 1,710 people with us in the dying stages of this show. I think this is the electric shock, the lightning bolt to Trump's consciousness himself, because he's so delusional and he's a pathological, narcissist. He didn't think that this could happen to him. The crown is off the head. It has happened, and the people have fallen out of the building. Yeah. If we look here, it's like he was expecting to celebrate his exoneration, but clearly not. So this is actually turning up in the reverse position. This is very the opposite of party. This is the cold reality. This is the windows being opened, the music being switched off, the party's over, and a sense of, massive come down. So this has been a huge knock to his ego. He may not show it. It's been a tremendous knock to his ego, and he is sitting down, kind of being like having to try and process this stuff. It doesn't matter what he says. If you are alive and your heart is beating, if you've been convicted a felon, it does affect you. He's not going to show it, but the cards are showing that is the case. If we look here, as we know, look, my alternative meaning for the star card is what? Duck l'orange, or the narcissist. So here he is in the middle thinking, oh dear, party's over now. How am I going to deal with this? However, just like Lena said, the comforts of the office do not desert him. Which is frustrating, isn't it? It's like he's always going to be in some kind of tatty silk robe. It makes me think of Sunset Boulevard, where it says, Mr. DeVere, I'm ready for my close-up.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I just feel like Trump is going to be one of these aging characters. I think they should maybe put him on Alcatraz if they do, but I think what this says to me is this is probably going to be at max house arrest. I know people want to hear prison, but as you know, I've been saying, many of us have been saying for years now, I'd be very shocked if he's actually put in prison and the cards aren't indicating it. He wouldn't get the 9 of Pentacles otherwise. That this could be Mar-a-Lago or some other comfortable place. And while he's there, he can maybe ponder the decisions of his past and the karma that he has reaped based on the seeds that he has sown. So I'm going to say some kind of quasi confinement. He'll probably still be comfortable and we'll have to see. But really, it's up to the American people, I think.
I just had a brilliant idea. Why don't the judge just make sure that he has to stay in Trump Tower for a whole year and he can't leave New York?
Where everyone hates him.
Ankle bracelet.
We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. But there is that, you know, that the comfort of the office does protect him. But anyway, can you believe it? The time has gone so fast and we have run over. So we're 10 minutes over. So we really should bring it to a close there. Thank you, everyone, for joining us this evening.
Thanks,
Thank you so
guys.
much for your questions. Fabulous questions. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. Sheila will be back with us next week, so we will be looking forward to that. It's been a hoot. It went so fast, but we must end it there, otherwise it will go on for too long. So thank you, everyone, for joining us. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we will see you next week. Mwah! Big love. All right, bye for now.
Bye.